Hi y'all, Ashira Star guys. So I had someone ask me how to do the Archangel Michael Protection candle, and I'm actually gonna do one tomorrow, so I'm kind of preparing for it tonight, and I'm gonna show you how I do it. Okay, if you don't have a Botanica, or if you can't get an Archangel Michael or a Saint Michael candle, I'm gonna show you how to make one with just a plain like glass novena candle. Okay, so first you're going to need a plain candle. You can use any color. I chose red and I've already got it made up, so it just needs to be plain like this, any color, but for Michael I use red. Okay, you can use white or yellow, but I prefer red because the Archangel Michael candles always come in red. Okay, sometimes they come in white, but I prefer the red ones because that is his color. Yellow, red, or red. Okay, so you get your glass candle and you can take a Sharpie marker, black Sharpie, and write Archangel Michael on there, and then on the back write what he does. I wrote I'm gonna cover up the name, but this is for a person there. You probably can't even see it that well because of the lighting. It's okay, so y'all can see that. Okay, so you write, I wrote protection and removing obstacles. Michael commands all lower entities, and this is permanent protection. That's what that says. And then I put who it was for on the candle, and I have an Archangel Michael sigil pendant. And so what I did was I took a sheet of paper and I took a crayon, actually a matte pencil, and I just shaded over the talisman to get the sigil. As you can see right here, that's half of it. Okay, so if you have a talisman or something, you can actually just shade it and cut it out, and then get you some clear tape. I use this packing tape, and go ahead and tape it to your candle, and then you have his sigil on the candle. If you can't do that because you don't have this, all you got to do is go online and look up Archangel Michael sigil and draw it, and or print it out and cut it out and then tape it to your candle. Okay, if you can't do all of that, just try to draw this as close as you can, or like I said, if you can find a photo online, a picture online, whatever, use that. But I like to use this sigil when I don't have the actual candle because this holds power. Okay, so this is how you make your candle. First, of course, before you do any of that, you need to cleanse it of all its negative energies. You can use Florida water, you can use whatever you use to cleanse it with, like incense or whatever, but I used Florida water to cleanse my candles. You can buy that in most stores. They do have like an aerosol one as well, or you can get the bottle one and just put it on like a paper towel and just wipe it clean. If you don't have access to that, you can go online and get a recipe to create Florida water. Okay, so then after that, you get your candle, and I get a pencil and I poke 7 holes going clockwise. So yes, it has to be 7. I know people keep asking me. I've done this before in another video, but since I'm going to do this anyway, I'm going to show you how to make it if you don't have the specified candle. 6, 7. Now that you have this, see the holes? Now you're going to take some type of oil. Okay, it doesn't have to be this oil. It can be regular oil, and you can add some cinnamon to it. It can be the Saint Michael hoodoo oil that you can pick up at most botanicas, and I say it like that because that is the correct way to pronounce it. Okay, so yes, you can get a lot of the If you live in the South, a lot of grocery stores carry this, okay? I don't know about, yeah, I know they carry this. So this, you can use rose oil or patchouli oil. Those are also his oils as well. So if you don't have this, but you got some rose oil, go ahead and use rose oil. If you don't have rose oil, use patchouli, okay? Michael uses all those oils. They're corresponding to him. So I have this. This is what I'm going to use. The St. Michael oil. You take your candle and you fill each hole up with the oil. Just kind of make sure the oil gets inside the holes, because when it burns, you don't want like the oil on the top affecting your candle too much. So make sure it gets in the holes. Now you can either put cinnamon on top of the holes to dress it, or you can put rose, or both, whatever you got. I'm going to put a little bit of the cinnamon stick and rose up there. So I'm just going to take this piece and break it up. Break it up in little bitty bits. Okay, if they're too big, you're going to cause the candle to burn like black, and it's not going to have a good burn. So break it up as small and little pieces as you can. Okay, so you don't have to put a lot, just barely enough, and try to get them inside the holes. That way they don't really mess up the edges of your candle or catch on fire and mess up your whole burn. Okay, so I'm sticking, and you can even get your pencil and kind of stick them in there even further so they don't really catch fire. Okay, so you should have something like this now. Next, you're gonna get your rose. These smell really good. Okay, just get like a little piece like this. You're gonna crumble this up and sort of do like a potpourri on the top of the, yeah. So and you're going to be putting your intention into this as well while you're dressing the candle, okay? And sometimes your marker will rub off, so you might want to have to re-go over it once you've done everything, or do that last, actually, because the oils from your hand kind of rub it off. So this is what you should have. This should be dressed. Make sure there's no oil on the glass. Get yourself a paper towel or a rag or something and just clean off all that oil around the edge. Make sure it's extra clean. And make sure when you pick out your candle, the wick is in the middle, because if the wick is not directly in the middle, you're going to get a bad burn, okay? So try to get it as close to the middle as you can when you purchase it, okay? So this is the finished result. I'm not going to be using this till tomorrow night, so I'm going to set this aside. You can actually charge this if you're not going to use it for a while. You can charge it, you know, in the dark energy, in the night. You can charge it in a dark room. You can charge it on your altar. However you can charge it with crystals. However you want to charge this with your energy is fine. I'm going to put this on my altar and let this sit overnight, and I'm probably gonna like fill in the words back that got a little bit smudged before I do the spell, because I have to, you know, recite them anyway. So what you would do is recite, you know, Archangel Michael, this is for protection and to remove obstacles for fill in the blank of the person's name or myself. This is a permanent protection. Michael controls all lower entities. And then light it and let it burn all the way down. And once this is all the way burned to the bottom, your protection is set and it is permanent. So I just want to show you how I made it, since I was making it, and how to create your own Archangel Michael candle without having to find one in the store. I ordered this online. Like if you look up Archangel Michael sigil pendant or talisman, you can order these. I think this was $18. And they have some that are more expensive that are made out of like silver or gold, but I got this one. It's not like a precious metal. I think it's like pewter or something. But if you work with one of like a deity or a saint or an angel a lot, it is best to get one of their sigils so that you can use it for, you know, you can draw it, you can wear it for protection, you can trace it and put it on candles. You can like imprint it into your, you know, some people imprint it into their skin, like when they're doing rituals, or I don't know. I don't do this, but I'm going to show you how it could be done. I've seen it done before, and or they burn it and kind of put it in their skin. I don't know about all that. You know, I'm not going to do all that. But see, it kind of leaves that mark just when they're in ritual, like, because some people like to be naked or something. I don't know. Don't ask me, but I've seen it, like, people do this. But so this is why a lot of people buy these, because you can use these in so many different ways. This stays on for a pretty good while. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so, or you can like get some ink and roll it over this bad boy and make a stamp. Okay, that might work too. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you're going to ask me if you can substitute this and that, you have to research Archangel Michael. There are certain things that correspond with him. Okay, the days of the week you can do this on, Thursday or Sunday. The types of flowers, herbs, oils, colors that are correspondent to Archangel Michael. Look it up. Google is there for a reason. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.